Hello, I'm Langston, and I'm back on my channel, Military Election Forecasting. Today, I'm going to be talking about why I think Biden is doomed in Wisconsin. So, I made a series about why I think Biden is doomed in Georgia, and I also made a series about why I think Biden still has the advantage in the presidency, and why I think he has four firewall states of Nevada, Arizona, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. But again, I think that Biden does have, a disadvantage in Wisconsin. I think that he will definitely go down in Wisconsin, at least as of now. And there are realistically two reasons why I think Biden will lose Wisconsin. So the most important, the most talked about, in all the media outlets is definitely black voters. I think that, Joe Biden will definitely struggle to turn out black voters in Milwaukee, which is a huge problem for Democrats because the last time that happened was in 2022. Democrats only, netted 140,000 votes out of Milwaukee County, and they lost, Wisconsin nearly because of that. And in 2016, we know turnout, from predominantly black areas in the Rust Belt and across the country, in particular in Milwaukee, absolutely collapsed, and that caused Hillary Clinton to lose narrowly as well. So because of that, because of Joe Biden's struggles with black voters, that alone will probably cost him Wisconsin, despite all of the other things he might have going in his favor, at least in an election with Donald Trump, who we know is going to continue to make gains in these rural areas, who's going to continue to make gains in these working class areas across the state. So oftentimes you hear people say, "Oh, well, the wild counties," and I do think the wild counties will shift in Joe Biden's favor. What people need to understand is Trump is still going to win them, though. So these don't really help Joe Biden because Joe Biden still loses them. He might lose them by less, but these are still votes to help Donald Trump. Donald Trump still nets votes out of these counties. So again, Donald Trump, let's say this 68% goes down to 66, 65%. That might give Biden, maybe 2 or 3 thousand more votes. Again, in Ozalki, let's say that this 55 goes down to 52 or 53%. That might give Joe Biden another thousand, another 2,000. In Waukesha, let's say that this, Joe Biden cracks 40. I'm saying, let's say Trump's lead only goes down to, maybe 50,000. That's just not that much. Like, I want to say all that put together is maybe 10 or 15,000 votes. Trump will be able to make that up in these rural areas. He will. And coupled with the fact that Biden will definitely lose a good 20 or 30,000 votes in Milwaukee in terms of turnout. Like, if he only lost 20, 30,000 votes in Milwaukee County, that'd be a good showing for him. And you have to also realize is, something that could really hurt Democrats is for the first time, we might see turnout in Madison go down. Like Madison has been one of the few counties that Democrats have consistently been able to squeeze more votes out of. But these voters in Madison are very liberal. That's why they're so democratic, very pro Bernie, very progressive, which is why they supported candidates like Mandela Barnes, Tony Evers, Tony Evers, as well as Tammy Baldwin, more left-wing Democratic candidates, Bernie Sanders, and et cetera. But again, in Dane County, these voters are extremely pro-Palestine. They're very anti-supporting Israel. So a lot of these voters, they already did not like Joe Biden anyway. And, that genocide Joe quote, that's going around amongst more progressive spaces is really hurting Joe Biden with these voters. So again, Joe Biden might not even be able to turn out voters in Dane County. Coupled with, black turnout is already going to be down in Milwaukee. And, struggles with turnout in Dane County. He doesn't really have anywhere he's going to necessarily make votes in Wisconsin. And for Donald Trump, he will definitely make gains in these rural areas, these working class areas. And, if Donald Trump makes gains in these working class and rural areas and black turnout in Milwaukee goes down, that alone will cost Joe Biden a state. That's not even talking about the fact that, for the first time, Democrats might actually struggle in Dane County. I think that, he will do a little bit better in the wild counties. But, Hillary Clinton did better in the wild counties as well. It didn't stop her from losing. I do want to say that, Hillary Clinton definitely did better, like Hillary Clinton definitely the Wild counties were a lot more Republican then than they are now, but she still did dramatically better. She did better in the Wild counties relative to Obama than Biden did relative to her. So, that didn't really, negate the losses with black turnout and negate the losses in the rural and working class areas in the state. So again, Biden doesn't realistically have that many places to improve in Wisconsin as of now. And we've seen that. Realistically, we've seen candidates like Mandela Barnes dramatically outperform Russ Feingold and et cetera, in the wild counties and still lose. It might have been competitive, but a competitive L is an L. So again, for Joe Biden, he just does not have the numbers, in my opinion, to be able to win Wisconsin. For Democrats to win Wisconsin, they need black turnout to at least be decent, if not good in Milwaukee. They need to be able to continue to make gains with these left-leaning, very liberal, progressive younger voters in Dane County. Biden's biggest problem in the country is with black and young voters. And that's basically the whole Democratic coalition in Wisconsin. Keeping up decent numbers with working class voters, high black turnout, high youth turnout, and shifting upper class suburbs are the coalition of Democrats in Wisconsin. We know Biden's going to lose ground with the working class voters. We know he's struggling with black voters. We know he's struggling with youth voters. So realistically, that negates him having too much of a realistic chance of winning in Wisconsin. So with that, I do expect Trump to have a narrow victory in Wisconsin. Despite him might not being able to win it presidentially and nationwide, I do think Wisconsin and Georgia are states that Trump should realistically be favored in, at least as of now. Things could change. Joe Biden could definitely make gains with younger voters and black voters. I don't think it's the most likely, but as long as things stay how they are now, like the election was today, I definitely think Joe Biden would come up short in Wisconsin, despite Democrats being able to have very successful showing in Wisconsin, despite being outraised 3-1 with Mandela Barnes, despite the Supreme Court election, etc. I do think Democrats would narrowly lose Wisconsin, at least as of today. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning to my channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe down below. Make sure to have a nice day, you guys. Goodbye.